Okay, so I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of confront or discuss the elephant in the room. And having worked with schools in the past with implementing conscious discipline, these are some of the concerns that usually come up when teachers are first learning about conscious discipline. So, the first is there are no consequences in conscious discipline. And that is absolutely not true. There are consequences. But remember, consequences are given with the intent to teach. In fact, teach either the missing skill or to motivate the child to use their skills, right? So sometimes kids may not have the skill, and the consequence is given to teach the skill. And the other time, the child may have the skill, but is choosing not to use the skill because that alternative behavior is working for them. So 100% there are consequences in conscious discipline. The consequences are linked to the behavior. This is what makes it very difficult. I can't give you a menu of consequences because they would be generic. And that's not what conscious discipline prescribes as the best way for children or students to move forward and learn. Okay, so there are consequences. They are linked to the behavior. They are only used, I'll just be honest with you, in the executive state because that's the only time we can learn. We cannot learn when we are in safety, when we feel unsafe, or when we feel isolated. So, unfortunately, and I say that because a lot of times teachers come to conscious discipline, and the first chapter they want to do is consequences. And if you noticed in the book, if you notice with these videos, it's probably going to be the last. So we have to have safety and we have to have connection. That is how the brain learns. That's the big thing. The other thing is, and this is just how the book was written, is that the book, if you're over second grade, if you're a third grade or up teacher, you may feel as though conscious discipline is for the younger children. And let's just go ahead and address that. Yes, the book does have graphics in it and things like I love you rituals that high school students probably would not want to do. 100% agree. What we have found is that if we use the powers and the skills in conscious discipline, so as you remember, as you're learning the power, you're fine tuning your power to teach a skill. The student learns the skill to build their power because remember, their brains are developing until the age of 26. Okay, so as they're building these skills, using these skills to build this power, that is where you can focus on for middle school and high school students. Think about it as almost metacognition. It's more of a focus of the neuroscience, and you can braid that into your class. So your classes can have where you are doing focusing on the power of attention in yourself or the power of perception, unity, positive intent, and the students then are benefiting from that. I am not by any means wanting anyone to do I love you rituals with high school seniors. Those are, more for the younger students. But please know this, the neuroscience and conscious discipline is for K through 12th grade. And applied educational neuroscience, which is another model which links very tightly into conscious discipline, does focus in on the adult regulation system, the student understanding their regulation system, so understanding their brain states, understanding when they're reactive, those micro moments of linking in with students every day. In other words, for every one negative, 5 positive interactions. Try that. We talked about it in another video very briefly, but also moving those students forward with explaining to them how it all works. That way they understand the neuroscience behind their behavior. So again, I hear a lot of times this is not really for anyone over third grade. Not true. It actually works in marriages and it works in adults. I use it, remember, at night in prisons, and I work in women's rehab. So these are very much skills that adults need as well. And you may find that as you're working through the rubrics, that there's some areas that you need to fine tune. And that's what will help your students fine tune them as well. Again, there are consequences. They are there to teach a missing skill or to motivate the skill. So I hope this was helpful. I'm sure there are more concerns. Please reach out to me with them. But those are the two big ones that I hear a lot of as soon as we start rolling this out. And again, remember, the goal here is to build the skills in the adults, the powers in the adults, so that they can be the model. We can be the model for these students when times get dysregulated. Okay, just a quick brief drop in and talk to you soon.